Hello friends, welcome to Nirpa's Talk Show. Today I have very special guest, Gaurvi Jadav, based out of Mumbai. She is a learning and development professionals and uh, a good public speaker. She has been helping to the young professionals throughout India, especially in terms of journalism and how it helps to career goal and achieve the financial goal and so on. Today, I am very glad that she has accepted my invitation and ready to share his experience and thoughts. Welcome, Gauravi, to Nirpa's Talk Show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So, Gauravi, can we start about journaling? Because I have seen that you have been doing a lot of uh, work in journaling, right? And you are basically organizing the webinar, a seminar, and so on. So, I just try to understand from the basic, right? What is journaling, and how should we start on that?
So is it okay if I shared my story, how it began, and then that's how it will make more sense?
Yes,
Journaling
please.
in simple words is simply writing and expressing yourself to yourself. Okay. So journaling doesn't involve, like a lot of us write, we write to share it with the world. Okay. Journaling is writing. You may share or you may not ever share it with anybody in the world, but it's a form of self-expression, self-communication, and self-coaching, which allows you to be in a safe space that is designed by you for you. So that's, in simple words, journaling.
Yeah.
So my journey began with journaling. I used to write in my school days. I have written in college days. We have written. I used to write for myself, writing down my thoughts, what went on in my mind, what solutions I have found. Even before I got married, I used to randomly write, not write regularly. And then I got married, had kids, didn't have much to write about.
Yeah.
When my father passed away in July 2020, after that, I was going through a very, very bad phase in my life.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital myself when my father passed away. I never saw him going. And my parents stayed in another city. So because I was in grief, I was anyways taking a very long time to recover. So I only met my mother and my brother much, much later. So, there was this entire incompleteness and hollow in me, and I didn't know what to do about it. So I was going mad, literally going mad. And then what I did was and I didn't want to go to anybody. I have a history of mental illness also, in that sense, where I have been to therapists and things, and then I am done with therapy. So I didn't want to go to a therapist or a counselor, though it is not something that you should do. You must go. But at that stage, I was not in the state to do any of that. I didn't want to talk to anyone. So I picked up a notebook and a pen and I started writing. And I just wrote and wrote. I just poured my heart out. And then it was unstoppable. I made it a point that I was writing every single day. And then that is where life turned around completely. And I
Yeah.
began searching answers for myself, and I wanted to know what more can be done. And then I understood that this is journaling, and there are so many different forms of journal writing. Began learning it. I began learning business, began learning coaching, how to do online coaching and things like that. And very, very blessed that what I'm passionate about, I'm turning it into a coaching program where I wish to teach it to others too. So my main focus of journaling is not to do list or to teach people very high productivity. Whereas if you do any form of journaling, it will lead to the same result. So the results are common. You do whichever form, whether you just write your life story, whether you write your daily tasks, whether you write your success goals or whatever, any form of journaling will give you the results. It gives you the exact same results. So that's the beauty of this art, because I do whichever form. I have tried more than 25 forms of journaling, and whichever form I have done, it gives me similar results. And I'm like, this is exciting. So it's just being intentional and mindful about what you want to write. My main focus currently is to help working professionals and homemakers, particularly the homemakers, men, women, all of them who also have been through traumatic experiences like I have been in my life. So journaling is a skill. It's a daily habit that helps everybody. But I focus on a lot, and I want to attract people who have been through similar experiences like me, and all the people who have been with me at some level or the other, they resonate with my story, and that's how they are with me, because they see that she'll understand. And the ones who don't, they don't join it. They're not with me. So, it's a beautiful journey that's unfolding every single day. The more I write, the more clarity I get, the more answers come just like that. And the beauty of journaling is a lot of time you don't realize that you even have those questions in the first place. The answers are then in front of you, and then you start asking, is this what I wanted to do? It's just magical. It's extremely
Yeah.
magical if you pay that attention to doing it.
Yeah.
So this is in short journaling. Journaling is a life experience. It's a powerful success habit. A lot of successful people across the globe, a lot of trainers and coaches create their own journals and start doing it. So I just teach that.
Thank you. I think, the key mantra is journaling is a powerful success habit. That is what you are saying, right?
Yes. It
So
is.
then,
Absolutely.
true. Now, basically, what is the difference between writing and journaling? We also write, right? But of course, we don't write the order ways or the daily, but we write in our office for creating some official document and so on. So what is the difference between writing and journaling?
Like I said, when you are writing, or whether you are writing your office emails, whether you are writing something to tell to someone else or note to give to someone else. So most of our communications is either a post on social media, or we write emails, or we are sitting in meetings and we take notes. Okay, so that's the most working professionals or homemakers also would write something like that only. Now that's mostly to communicate to somebody else, whereas journaling is communicating with self. You don't need to show it to anybody else. So the demarcation is very clear. Writing is a form of communication. You mean to communicate to the external world. You share it with others. Now, if you write a personal account of a vulnerable situation that you've been in your life, obviously you don't want everyone to know everything. But in your journal, you can tell your journal everything. So that way, journal is your best friend. You can just pour your heart out, and it's like talking to your own self.
Yeah. So basically, I can say the journaling is it's a kind of self-retrospection and
self-reflection,
self-analysis.
self-transformation, self-analysis, name it, self-coaching. There are certain templates and forms. If you do it in a particular way, you realize that you're actually coaching yourself. You're telling yourself, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then at the end, you find an answer which was previously not there.
Thank you.
So there are lots of such exercises that one can do.
Yeah. And you said earlier, right? In whatever the form of journaling, at the end of the day, we get the outcome, and it is always a good result. What it mean? Can you elaborate that?
Yes. So when you journal, when you write out what is going on in your life, it's not just crying and whining and saying this is that. So when people write diaries, they just write what happened in their life and leave it at that. Whereas journaling, you have to go back and you reflect on what you have written. So whatever personal account, say for example, today something happened and I wrote about it. You also look at what that means to me. What is the life lesson in it? What can I do with this information further? How can I improve myself if I come across the situation again? So journaling necessarily is reflecting upon what you are writing, reviewing it. Okay, so that's how there are very different form of journals. Say, for example, a learning journal is where students can follow, where if they learn a certain concept, okay, so they write the concept on one side, and that's where education finishes, right? So say, for example, you learn some incident that happened in history, okay, in your history things. So a notebook would be where you just wrote question and answers. Whereas if you journal on the same, you write what you learned in short on one side, and on the other side, you'll write what did you learn? What does the information mean to you? How are you going to apply it in your life? So that is what journal does. Okay. Now, say for example, the journal that I follow for, this is one very, very, very personal, powerful journal called Create Your Own Calm. It is it helps reduces anxiety. Now, those exercises are very simple, easy to do, reflective tools. But what it does is it doesn't leave you with anxiety. It doesn't see ki, I am anxious and I need to do something about it. There is a step by step. There are a series of questions. If you answer them, or you do a draw, or make an illustration on it, or even if you mind map it, it gives you answers. It starts opening up those doors which even you didn't realize are closed to a great extent. So in that sense, when there is mental clarity, obviously the more mental clarity is there, more emotional clarity is there in your life, the more spiritual clarity you have in your life, automatically the results get into you are more productive in life.
Yeah.
Okay, your relationships are better. You start aspiring for better things in life. So that's how you start thinking about what is my goal, what is my purpose. So automatically, the more mental clarity you create for yourself, the more you will have all the results that you wanted. And obviously, stress comes down. And particularly for people who are suffering from mental illnesses,
Yeah.
journaling has been very, very impactful for people who are suffering from anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So then there is enough research evidence to show all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So lots of benefits.
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
benefits.
I don't know
It's a
about.
powerful
Yeah.
habit.
Yeah. Yeah. The journaling I have recently started, but then whatever the form you say, right? So my experience I'll share. Sometimes I don't get sleep. Then what I do is probably I will start writing. Of course, it is kind of journaling that you have shared with us, or sometimes the story or whatever experience things I have. I want to write it, and during this writing process, I feel that I'm little focused, and then I start. The different thought process was there in my mind. It removes, and I get sleep, and that is my personal
Wow.
experience. I think that is what it happened to me
Excellent.
in couple of times earlier, since last
Mm.
1-2 months. So I think it is definitely
Mm.
it helps to focus the mind. There is no doubt about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if there's one form of journaling that you do before you go to sleep. So ideally, Nipa, if you start writing down your blessings before you go to sleep, like you start writing gratitude statements that I'm thankful to, I'm thankful to, I'm thankful to. You write even 10 statements.
Right.
It takes 5-6 minutes to do it. It doesn't take too long to do it. But you just write 10 gratitude statements in anywhere on your mobile app or in your notebook. You will start sleeping much better.
Yeah.
There is evidence even for this. You wake up in the morning, okay, you do your morning rituals. You write 1, 2, 3, whatever pages of whatever that is going on in your mind, or you plan your day, or you write the kind of task that you need to complete. You will see your productivity increases. So these are just techniques that helps your mind cultivate good habits of thinking. So journaling, like for your body, you exercise, right? You move your body and you do exercises. So then your muscles and your entire body wakes up. If you do it first thing in the morning, it increases your immunity, better health, wonderful outcomes, more mental clarity. When you put out your thoughts out, it makes your mind very, very healthy.
Yeah.
And then most of the times, and this is what I tell all of my students also, that journaling leads you to live a life of clarity to such an extent that whenever you feel that I am not in control, when you pour out your thoughts, you pull out the lessons and you start becoming in control of your life. And that is why when you realize that you are in charge of everything that is happening around you, you are at a better position to take better decisions in life, take the actions that are required, say the things that needs to be said, and obviously then your fear reduces and your confidence increases.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think but despite this, right? So even I think I have not reached to that level where that kind of clarity and satisfaction that I can get it, right? But still, I am personally is not that much of focus, because sometimes either it is industries are very volatile today, and lot of work comes, or lot of diversions or destruction happens because of many changes within the industry or within the company that we belongs, right? So in such a situation, what is your thought? And I believe situation like me and many people are there, right? They are what they are going to do is not dependent on what they are looking for primarily. Of course, they can drive if they are very focused, but also it is dependent on what industry and market is looking for and what his boss is looking for, right? In such a situation, what is your suggestions? Are you clear? Are you with me?
So you are saying in short, what if they don't have time?
No, yeah, partly you are right. But what I'm saying is, to achieve our goal, to focus to the goal or action that we need to do, it is also partly dependent on market, industry, and many other factors. Correct? No, because we are engaged with
Absolutely.
many people. The business drives or business wants something to perform us. Therefore, we have to do accordingly to survive in the industry, right? So what essentially I was trying to say is a lot of destruction happening nowadays because of the competitiveness. So what is your thought in that direction?
So if you look at distractions happening in life, you look at a child's life today or you look at an IT professional's life today.
Exactly.
Both are distracted.
Exactly.
So who is not distracted in today's world? Because you have so many sources of distractions.
True.
Even right now, I have my mobile phone in front of me. We are on a laptop. You start with one thing and you will realize that it can go to lead to any other thing. Okay,
Exactly.
as many other things in life. Now, the key is I when I do journaling, I also I have meditation and healing and other processes also infused in it. It's not just one thing. Correct. Because today's world, you want to survive, you need powerful habits.
True.
If you do not have powerful habits in life, life will take over and distract you to no end.
Exactly.
So that is the distinction that all of us need to understand. That is life taking you over or you are taking over life?
Yeah, I agree.
So if life is taking you over and you are distracted and completely out of control, you will be burnt out. You will be extremely frustrated, stressed out, and you would not feel like even waking up the next morning.
Yeah.
So that is where people are getting into. They fall into that trap where they do not allow the mind to be in control. They do not allow themselves to be in control of what is going on in their life.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why you need self-reflection time. People do meditation, people do exercise, they're doing, in this. But if you do not sit down and work on yourself, you could go to training and do hundreds of training and coaching, right? But all of that training and coaching, you feel high and good for those many days. It continues for a month or so. But if you do not sit down and work on yourself, by yourself, then you have to go for another training session. Right?
Exactly.
And then you're constantly waiting. Someone else will come and do it for me.
That is not
nobody is there to help you. You have to find a way to help yourself. You have to find a way to work on habits. And you have to find a mentor who will help you to work on all of this.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's the key. Like for me, how am I doing? I learned journaling from someone. I learned coaching from someone. I learned healing from someone. So unless I don't find a mentor who can teach me the right skills to take charge of my life, it is very difficult for me to carry on with certain things.
Yeah.
And you have to trust your mentor, believe in your mentor, and follow the path that they give. This is what I tell my students also. There is a program, there is a practice. If you follow, like one of my students, she journals every day. She's a writer. She's a writer herself. She's a teacher and she journals every day. And I ask her, what is your motivation? She's like, now I can't do without it because it's so enjoyable. I do it first thing in the morning. My day goes very well. If I miss it, I keep feeling something's missing, something's not there. One of my other students says that it is like brushing your teeth. If you do not brush your teeth, and that's the example I also give. If you do not brush teeth for 5-6 days, will that be okay with you? Will you be okay? Your oral and your the health is important. You know all of that. Nothing horrible will happen to your teeth, but you know that it's become a habit. You will miss it and you need to do it because there are benefits of it. Okay, you don't go against the idea of brushing your teeth. Yeah. You don't go against the idea of eating for 2 or 3 meals every day. Right? Yeah. So you have to cultivate, and now those are your habits because you're habitually doing it. You've got to cultivate certain habits in your life which will bring about more power to you and help you to take charge of your life. Understanding that not every day somebody will come to help you. Not every day you can go to somebody and keep asking for help. You have to find a way to work with yourself. Yeah, and that's what journaling has the potential to do.
I agree. So now coming to the the most of the people are today, right? The distraction part, or they are not able to focus in their life. So is the journaling for the goal achievement, right? Is that is possible? Like how, and if possible, how to do that?
Mm. Wonderful, great question. There are, as I said, there are different forms of journaling. There's one called bullet journaling, which is very, very popular today, which helps you to write down what is it that you want to achieve in your life. They also say that it's a productivity tool. And plus it has a whole log that allows you to make note, track your progress. There are trackers also in it. So, all of that is available today. And that form of journaling is very popular with youngsters, particularly because they like seeing where their life is going. So if they put a, you have, say, for example, you want to lower distraction. Okay. So bullet journal is simple. You take a notebook. Usually it's a dot grid book, which is interesting to work upon because you can make your own tables and stuff on it. But you simply make a list of, say, for example, your goal is to reduce distraction. You want to be more focused on the task that you are doing. How bullet journal will help you, or journaling even otherwise will help you, is you make a list of all the things that distract you in your journal. Just make one, write it down, because you would know what distracts you, and what distracts you is different. What distracts me is different. So it has to be your
Exactly.
own personalized list. And then you put dates on top. I'm talking about the most simplest tracker. Okay. Simple, just put the dates on top. At the end of the day or at the beginning of the next day, look back at your day and then just take out all of those distractors that you have on the list. Which ones were the ones that distracted you the most that day? So say, for example, going into Facebook, and I am in Facebook for 20 minutes. If that distracted you and you didn't learn anything out of it, you tick on that. Okay.
Yeah.
So like that, you can start tracking on a daily basis in that entire month, the number of distractions that were there. Okay. How many distractions were there every day? Now, what happens is, tracking that distraction is just one activity. Your mind
Exactly.
will start telling you, look at this list, and we are getting distracted 15 times in a day with all of this.
Yeah.
The next question that you will automatically ask yourself, how do I get reduce the 15 to 14, 14 to probably 12, 12 to 10? So then that is how it is very easy for you to set a target for yourself, that I am going to bring my 15 distractions to. So then you set a goal. I have 15 So first level is self-awareness, that you become aware that so many distractions are there in my life. You start tracking, you realize, oh my God, on a daily basis, all of these 15 are ruling me. It's literally ruling me. What can I do about it? I need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Then you start making strategies as to how will I reduce each of these distractions from my life? What will I do? Now, some distractions you can't do. You can't live without your mobile phone and laptop today, right? The
Yeah.
work that we have, you need the mobile phone. But what is that one action that I will do so that the distractions would reduce? I will turn off the notifications completely of every possible application. I will turn off all the notifications. Say, for example, you choose that action. Then you see, after you have taken that action, you keep that action on your in your list in the journal itself. And then you see now whether with this action, write a date on that action saying that this is the day that I started doing this action, and see whether those distractions are reducing or not. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you don't need someone else to teach you all this. What I just shared right now is something that you create by yourself, for yourself.
Yeah.
So, has journaling to do with anybody else? No, you're simply creating a system that will make you more productive and better in life by creating tools that work for you. Now, what I can teach you is how to make a tracker, okay, how to form goals, how to track your goals, and how to create a simple journal for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, what to put in the journal is your responsibility. It
Yeah.
is based on the needs that you have at a time. But
Yeah.
at least you know that I don't have to keep thinking at a distraction, a distraction, a distraction. Now that I am aware that this is how I can work towards it. So that is what journaling does to you. It start giving you answers. The moment you start noting things down, the answers start popping up right from there.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think it definitely helped, right? Even I have personally stopped all the notifications from the app. but you ended up with keeping a lot of app nowadays for every activity, right? So that is anyway. But more importantly, what you earlier said, right? Why you are distracting? We need to be articulate on that part. What makes me to look the Facebook, right? Either I am not stable in myself, right? Or I am not cool calm. And why, if I am not cool calm, why I am not cool calm? I think that self retrospection will definitely help, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. But it begins with some action. You start tracking it and then you start reflecting. Why is this one particular distraction I am not able to let go of? And then you have to find answers those for yourself.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what a coach does is, a mentor does is, the coach or mentor will fasten the process for you, will facilitate it for you, and
True.
will tell you, okay, these are the things, this is what you need to work on, do it immediately. So you need someone who holds you accountable.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is, the problem is not that you don't have the tools, that you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
The problem is we are very poor at holding ourselves accountable and responsible for the actions we need to take.
Exactly.
And that's why you need a system where you have someone who will hold you accountable, who will tell you, when will this happen? Or you need some partner to work with you who will tell you, we need to do this together. You know, you can't just be in that stage. Otherwise, why have you enrolled and why are you doing this?
Yeah. I think one more point is I completely agree with the clarity that it brings, right? But at the same time, to take necessary actions, we need motivations, right? Because we'll do for 7 days and another 7 days you are not doing, and that will not going to give the result, right? At least for consistently for longer period of time, we have to do that. So what is your maybe personal opinion about uh, getting motivated, getting charged to the plan that you have created as part of your journaling?
Absolutely. So what I also do is life purpose. So I am a life purpose coach practitioner. And very, very important, in order for you to be motivated, you have to get down to asking yourself, what purpose does my life serve? What purpose am I here for? If you do not ask these very complex questions, as they see, it's not complex once you start thinking about it. It's very simple actually. But unless you do not define what your life's vision is, what is your purpose, what mission do you want to work towards?
Right.
Personally, not because I have a job and I carry on with a job. Okay, that's then again it's the same thing. Life is taking you over. You have not taken over your life. So what is the purpose that I have? What vision and mission do I want to follow in life? What are my values? Now, unless you do not define these important things, see, every company has it, right? Every company they have a vision, they have a mission, they have a list of values that they get their employees to follow. Yeah, but if you don't have the same for yourself and you don't see that I have a personal mission and a vision and values, but my values are not matching with my company's. Yeah. Then you automatically know I can't work here. Yeah. But what they do not teach, they do not teach in school, they do not teach this in college, in any courses, that you need a personal blueprint for yourself. You need your own life's blueprint. Okay, yeah. If you listen to Martin Luther King's speech that he gave in one to a group of students at their graduation, and he said very clearly that they haven't taught this to you in college, but you need a blueprint for your life. Unless you do not create a blueprint for your life where you define your dreams very, very clearly and your values, you will not be able to feel powerful in your life. And then all of the other feelings start coming in. I'm not good enough. Then fear start coming into your life that if I quit this, where will I go? What will I become? And then lack of clarity, distractions, all of those things start happening if you're not clear about your purpose in life. What are your values? What is your vision? What is your mission in doing what you're doing? Yeah. So in order to stay motivated, it has to be inside out. It cannot be external factors motivating you. Yeah. It has to be something that is inside of you that's motivating you. Yeah. I completely agree. Gaurvi, I think we are going towards the end of the conversation, probably last questions, and it was very wonderful so far talking with you. Thank you. Yeah, just last point, maybe another few minutes. To start the conversation, this journaling, right? And also to maintain for a longer period of time.
What is your 3 key advice?
Okay. So very clear that understand the purpose and why of why you want to adopt this habit. Say, for example, when you are doing meditation, you have to define the goal for you. If I have to meditate every day, it will lead me to stress-free life, it will bring calm to me, whatever. So you have to define something for you. So if you want to journal, number one, that define the purpose of why you would want to journal and which form of journaling will suit you best. Okay. So for that, you need to learn a little bit, you learn it, and then you come to a form where you do it. Again, to keep it consistent, very, very important that you habit stack it with some other habit that you're already following every day, because it's a new habit. And when you're learning new, this is what I teach in my course also. How do you make it into a habit that gels into your everyday life so that it becomes inseparable with what you're doing? Okay. So you've got to habit stack it and make it part of your everyday routine so that you reap its benefits every single day, like you do with exercise and this. And if you want to, the reward is in the action itself. You start
Exactly.
practicing it and you do it for the time. So I suggest 90 days you must do. So only when you do it and sustain it and trust the coach that, he or she will take you to the end line, you will automatically see that the benefits are coming. Like I told you, one of my students does it every day without it. Nobody has to remind her because she's applied all the principles and she's able to implement it. And I am also able to implement it. I don't need any reminders to write journal. I've been consistently doing it for the past 1.5 years without fail every single day because I've created my environment around it and system around it in such a way that I can't miss it. And I have no pressure of it. No, people feel, oh, I have not written, I have to write every day, this and that. So it's not a pressure cooker system that you create for yourself. It becomes enjoyable. And I teach all of these tactics, how you can reduce fears in your life, how you can reduce your resistances and inhibitions, and how you can raise your vibrations to such an extent that automatically the motivation that you're seeking outside starts coming in from inside.
Thank you. So thank you, Gaurav. I think I got very much clarity, and I believe our conversation will definitely help to many other people who are trying to improve themselves based on the journaling. So probably the last point you have articulated very properly, the create an habit, create the environment, and connect with the right people. So with this note, I will conclude this conversation and look forward to connect with you again. Thank you for your valuable time and insights. Till then,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Yeah.
you.